Hey guys, Mauro here. For those of you that got to see the Federer Kokkinakis match yesterday, really good match. I think that not only that there is a lot to learn from it, not only from the technically perspective from both players, but one thing that I truly believe that I immediately got my attention right away from the beginning of the match. I like to analyze not only. I like to see the strategy of the game, but it also gets my attention a lot. How the psychological aspects play. The psychological aspect of the game plays a very important role and that's something that in a tennis match is very, very noticeable. This is something that I want to give you 5 points that I came up with after watching that match. Mostly based on, of course, on Kokkinakis' attitude yesterday. And well, let's move on and start with the just something really quick that I want to say is it's very important. I think it's very important to pay attention to something to this point, to the fact that when we play, we're always going to be playing people that are better than us. We're always going to be competing and playing. Sometimes we have one nemesis, one guy that that is very difficult to beat, and many times we don't know what's going on. We think that we have done everything possible, practicing and stuff, but for some reasons we cannot beat the guy. So I truly believe that this video is something that will help you. I hope it helps you at least think a little bit and pay attention, probably on other things that you haven't really been paying attention before. Okay, let's go to point number one. Tip number one: master your style of game and be able to adjust. Every player, each one of us, we have one style that we like. Some of us like to be aggressive from the baseline or play the net. Some of us like to be, more counter-puncher kind of player. Some of us like to be the kind of guy that is just fast and hits everything back and just waits for the chance to attack. Some of us are like the guys that say, you know what, I'm just going to defend. I'm just going to let this guy go crazy and start missing or whatever. Whatever is your style, you have to just stick to it. There is no such thing like your style is good or not. Because any style well done, well worked, shaped, and able to be adjusted to everyone that you play can be good. So the one thing is you really wanna master the style that you pick. Whatever kind of player you wanna be, you have to become really good at it. You wanna be the guy that is really, really good at it. You practice it, you're comfortable with it, and you stick to it. Now, an important thing is your style is not gonna be. It doesn't matter what kind of tennis of tennis you play. Your style is not gonna beat everybody out there. So you have to be able to develop the style, but you gotta be able to shape it, to do some little changes that you need when you play. There's gonna be guys that, let's say you're a counter puncher, the kind of guy that says, okay, you know what, I can stay on the baseline and hit 4 or 5, have long rallies. But you're playing a guy that has good rallies, that is like you, probably he's pretty good from the baseline. But that guy is not really that good probably when you force him to play aggressive. So you want to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to rally, but whenever I have a short ball, I'm gonna move to the net right away, and I'm forcing the guy and getting him off his comfort zone, trying to hit passing shots. I know that's where he hurts, and you got to be able to add that to your game. You're probably playing someone that doesn't have a really good second serve, and you're usually used to hit the second serve and stay on the baseline. So what you do, okay, you know what, this guy doesn't have a very good second serve, so I'm gonna chip and charge. So you gotta be able, you have to become really good at the style that you want, but you don't wanna be the kind of guy that whenever you're in trouble and you need to change your plan a little bit or have a plan B, you cannot do it. You have to be able to add some stuff to your drawings. You got to be able to add something to your game when it's necessary, when it's needed, and when that's the plan, the game plan that is going to give you a better opportunity at winning. Tip number 2: develop one weapon and use it as much as possible. Develop one weapon it's got, whether it's your forehand, your backhand, your serve, anything. But you got, this is a must, guys. If you don't have at least one weapon, you're in trouble. You're really gonna be in trouble. It doesn't matter how much in good shape you are. It doesn't matter that the rest of the game is really, really good. You got to have one thing that, let's say you have a good forehand, you gotta have that forehand, you gotta have that thing, that weapon that when you run around and the other guy sees you getting ready, he's like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's the forehand, the backhand, the volley, the serve, but you got to have at least one weapon. Back in the 80s, professionals, it was more like that. You have a good forehand, you're good. You have a good serve, you're good with it. When Lendl came out, forehand and backhand swinging, hitting ball hard on both sides, that's when the game changed. That's when it wasn't anymore, okay, just one weapon. Professional, they knew, okay, I gotta have something else. Because this guy came out all guns blazing, forehand and backhand. In the past, it used to be, just go to his backhand. He's got a good forehand, just go to his backhand. But then all of a sudden, this guy came out that said, you know what? Don't go to his forehand or backhand. You gotta do something else. So that completely changed the game, and that's what we have nowadays. So if you can have two weapons, that's even better. But if you really want to have a shot at beating the good guys, you gotta have a good forehand or backhand or service. You gotta have something that is really gonna make him guessing, that is gonna get him into trouble. All right. No, tip number 3: be patient and play point by point. That's one thing that I noticed on Kokkinakis yesterday, very clear. What we just talked about, the Velo 1 weapon, that was his serve. Massive serve. Federer, he just could not control that serve on the third set. Now, Federer still had a chance on the third set to break, at least a couple of times. And this guy, he just stuck to his, he just was patient, playing point by point. At one point, I think he was 15-40, or a couple of times. I think one time he was love 30 in one game and 15-40 in another one. And the guy, he just said, you know what? You could tell that he never lost his cool, and he just said, you know what? Let's win this point first. Hit that serve, that first serve in. He will win the point, and you could tell, okay, ready for the next one. Just go. Don't jump to the future like, oh my God, 15-40, I have to win 2 points. I might be able to win the first one. What about the second one? And then I'm playing this guy that is super good and stuff. No, the guy totally, he was stuck to the present, to the moment, to the point. No jumping not letting the monkey mind going crazy, because that's a moment when your mind is going to start going crazy and freaking out. And with the good guys, with the good players, you want to be the good players. They know that most of the guys that start really, most of the guys they play, they know they start on fire, because they know everybody wants to be the guy, and says, you know what, I just gotta stick to it, and you gotta be patient. And this guy he's gonna have a mental breakdown. Well, you don't want to have a mental breakdown. Don't time travel. Stick in the freaking moment, guys. Point by point. Point by point. Don't let the mind go back to the past. Don't let the mind go back to that oh my God, I had the chance to break that serve 2 games ago, and don't let it go to the future thinking, oh my God, it's 15-40, what's going to happen? I'm not going to be able to win the next 2 points against this guy. Just stick to the point like Kokkinakis did yesterday. So tip number 4: be bold, but don't show fear and intimidation. Yesterday Kokkinakis was the guy, especially on the third set, second and third, but I was here on the third. You could tell the guy wanted to make loud and clear to Federer, I don't fear you and you don't intimidate me. There are tons of other players that will have gone to a third set against Federer, and they will have been like, oh my God, now it comes down to this. This is where guys like Nadal, guys like Djokovic in his good days, the top players, they take him the long run And that's where you really have to be ready. That's where you really have to be prepared mentally and physically, because that's when they raise the bar. They know that when you go the distance is when the best in the world at anything say, this is where I rule. This is my kingdom. There might be a lot of players that take me the distance, but there are very few that get to finish the job. They know that a lot of players, they just melt. They have meltdown, or they just can't control the pressure on those last miles of the race. And you gotta stick to the fact of being bold, and just showing him in his face. I say, you know what? I can go on the first set. I can go on the second one. If we go to 3, I'm still gonna be there with the same mentality, with the same attitude and the same character. Win or lose to the last point, guys. That's how you gain the respect, and that's how you start getting in under their skin and starting thinking, well, this guy is not giving up and this guy is not giving in. All right. Okay, the last one, guys. Be ready for 2 hours of way off your territory mental challenge. Way off your territory. You gotta be ready with these guys that, okay, from point 1, I have to be sharp. I have to be ready mentally. And I have to know in advance, I have to know that I'm gonna be struggling a lot. My mind is gonna do anything possible to distract me, to make me feel like, okay, you don't deserve it. You're not good enough. You don't have the weapons to beat these guys. You're not in the same caliber. You're not in that same level. You're not just the kind of guy that can beat someone like me, like him. I mean, and you have to be ready for that before you play the match. You have to be ready to say, I am gonna be in an area. I'm gonna be in territory that is, I'm not gonna be comfortable. There are gonna be tons of moments where my mind is gonna try to play with my self-worth, with my self-perception, with my determination, how much tenacity I have, how much strength do I have left on me, how much I want it. Am I really good enough for it? Am I built for this? Everything the mind can find in the external world as a stimuli, is gonna use it against you. It's gonna try to use it against you. The point where you go forehand to forehand with the guy, and you lose a point, and your mind is gonna go in immediately. See, I'm telling you, why are you going forehand to forehand? Your forehand is not better than his. And then you go to the backhand, it's gonna do the same thing. And when you and even in the points that you win, you say you were lucky this time, because if he would have gone down the line, you would have never made it to that shot. The mind will try that and more and more. So you have to really, this is something I cannot. You know, I love the psychology aspect of the game, guys. And this is one thing that completely changes the game and completely changes your self-perception and everything else. Not only your game, in anything you want to do in life. Everything. You have to pay attention to the words and the images in your head. What's going on in your head? Why you sing? What kind of images you have when you're playing those guys? Is it you, the guy that you thinking, oh my God, the image of me being a weak guy that is not that good, my backhand is not that consistent, my right calf was bugging me 2 weeks ago, it's probably gonna come back today. I'm not that good returning the high serves to the backhand. I cannot really stretch that well for that wide serve to the forehand because my back's still hurting a little bit. Everything like that. The mind is gonna play it. The mind is just it's just looking. It's a crouching tiger, just praying. Just give me the chance. Just give me the image. Give me a few words that you tell to yourself, and boom! It just jumping the opportunity, and it's gonna start floating your head with tons of negative self-language and images that are not gonna be helpful. So you have to learn. You have to tame your mind. Period. You have to tame your mind. You have to start changing the way you look at yourself. You have to start changing the way you talk to yourself. And you do that before the match. You cannot really expect to get into the court and all of a sudden everything is gonna change in like a flick of the switch. See, Kokkinakis, I am sure he had tons of negative words and images in his mind of things that could have gone wrong. And the guy, if you notice, he stayed cool, he stayed bold, and he say, I'm still going on the third set. Federer will hold his serve, I'll hold mine. Federer will hold his serve, I'll hold mine. And I guarantee you guys, as unbelievable as a player as Federer is, he's a human. He's not from Mars as a lot of people believe. He's a human. And in his head, Kokkinakis starts getting in his head too, saying, this kid is not giving up and he's not giving in. This is a serious threat. And they get affected for that too. So you gotta stick to that. You gotta stick tooth and nail to what you want, regardless of what happens on the game, regardless of what the other guy does. Okay? Alright guys, I hope these 5 tips help. And well, go out there, center, bold, and perseverant, just like Kokkinakis did yesterday. Centered, bold, and perseverant. Okay? Thank you. Bye.